we got to dig into a very deep, deep topic. Unbelievably so, it's not as deep as like the Tupac and Biggie, controversial West East war. That was, some people say it was kind of like a figment of our imagination as fans, artists, reviewer. It's all kind of like a cohesive bond. You got the management, you got the artist, and you got the fan. Without the fans, none of it's possible. Okay, so at that time, we were just beginning to let white boys sort of take a front row seat in hip hop as fans. And to see an artist coming out with the real Slim Shady was like, this dude is actually, he's showing us happiness, even though he's turning that shit off. At the end of the album, he could still have happiness. Eminem show I'm talking about. It wasn't the happiest go-lucky fucking album in the world, but it still had those records. Like Without Me. Are you kidding me? That's like every kid's dream is to dress up like Superman or a comic book character and climb up fucking walls with Dr. Dre. What? Are you kidding me right now? Fucking every kid would want to do that. And even if you're not a kid, if you're an adult, at that time, when you're 30 or whatever, 40, you're listening to it, you're still being inspired. My dad talked about Eminem. This is how much into music we are. My dad used to, he would take me to concerts, take me to clubs all the time. He heard a Slayer lyric before I ever got Slayer music. I ever got into that metal shit, that metal scene. In my late 20s, I got into it. And I was thinking myself, well, my first heavy rock album, I was living in North Carolina as a little kid, was Kickstart My Heart. At that point, I was jamming any like club or I'm blue, if I were green, I would die, if I were green, I would die. That shit. I was jamming that shit. Rockaway, I think another band called Rockaway. Basically club and dance, because this was like 1998, 99, when I'm talking about. What else was I jamming? Motley Crue. I couldn't believe I had found an album that fit my lifestyle. I was like, oh my God, Motley Crue. I found this in some old ass Roanoke, Virginia, barn type, stable type house, a farm. They had 88 acres of land out here in Roanoke, Virginia. And at that time, finding a Motley Crue album sitting around, I was like, dude, I gotta buy this. But at that time, I was kind of like obsessed with NSYNC. NSYNC, for some reason, they just had this style about them. And they made this song called Dirty Pop. Dirty Pop. I couldn't get enough of that record. I was like, man, I gotta go buy this record. And my brother I was living with at the time, he was like late 20s, early 30s. He had a long, curly ponytail too. I think that's where I got the inspiration to grow my hair. My Gemini brother, Chris. I got a Leo brother, Gemini brother, 2 Virgo sisters. So I basically get along with those signs the most in life. Scorpio, Gemini, Virgo, and Leo. Oddly enough. I mean, that's just how it is. My dad was a Scorpio, my mom was a Gemini. Those are the signs. Another odd thing is I was very close friends with Cancers. So, a couple Pisces here and there. A couple Aquarius. Aquarius, Pisces, pretty much every sign. I mean, except like, mm, I can't say any of the signs were mean. Cancer was sometimes mean. Aries was sometimes mean, but even they like me. Let's see. Sag, they were pretty mean to me. They were probably the meanest, the Sages, honestly, to me, personally. I'm talking about everybody else, whatever. Libra, male Libras, they fucking act like they know everything. To me, that's just a little bit of astrology. If you believe in that stuff. But Eminem, he was pretty cool man to me. But seeing that Motley Crue album in Roanoke, Virginia, awakened my musical like taste. Like, wow, I found people rock and roll that lived the lifestyle I lived, right? You hear all the stories about how they partied their lives away. That that was my parents. I witnessed that my whole life, going from hotel to hotel, because we couldn't pay our bills because we were too busy partying. They were too busy partying. I was playing Sega. I was just breathing, trying to fucking get my head away from my reality. I was staying home from school. Eventually, I went to foster care because my fucking parents didn't enroll me in school. They forgot. So it technically wasn't even them doing something bad. It was just, I mean, I remember the sheer neglect from doing drugs. They would do so much cocaine that they didn't really know what was going on. Paranoia all day. So I would get beat up, or I would do like scarification tattoos right down my face. I told people, yeah, I got stabbed for like a year. I told them that. Yeah, I got stabbed. Some kid stole my Jordans and held me up. That never happened. Ain't nobody held me up. Who fucking run up to me and hold me up? Scary looking motherfucker like myself. Even when I was young, when I was bald, I was I looked like a loke. You know what I mean? Like people didn't really fuck with me. I didn't have no facial hair or nothing. But, you know, I was only slightly smaller. I'm still 125 fucking pounds and 5'9", okay? 5'10", whatever. I wasn't that big even back then, like, even now. Whatever. Not much of a change, essentially. But, you know, kids would look at me in the hallway and be like, they didn't really want to talk to me like that. And, you know, even kids that would mean mug me would, like, stand down and shit because I just, like, I was chill with it. Like, dog, at first my heart would pump really fast early on in life. And as I started getting into more fights, I was just, like, chill with it, you know. No longer was I scared to get beat up anymore. I was ready to die, you know. What? The fuck you gonna do, punk ass motherfucker? What? You little bitch. I'll get the fucking goons on your bitch ass, punk motherfucker. Go ahead, do something. You know, they always wanted me to say the N-word or say something worse. They always wanted me to say something. Like, they was, like, intimidating me to say something to them. But I wouldn't. I would always keep it classy, but firm. And they always back down from that shit. I don't know why. I don't know why. I didn't have some secret recipe on how to get out of fights, but motherfuckers was just. There was a time I got a fucking black eye. I can't remember why. Oh yeah, we set up a UFC fight in school. Me and this kid. I remember it was in my high school when I was 15, 16. I was just turned 16. And in my high school, they set up a fucking UFC fight. Me and this kid. Ari, I think his name was. I can't remember his name, but he was making fun of my name. He was making fun of my name, right? Like, haha. And I copped an attitude at that. Because he was always saying something about me. You know, every time I would be walking around or at football practice, he'd be like, haha, your belly button looks like a cinnamon bun, ha ha ha. You know, stupid shit like that. I'm thinking to myself, why are you talking? Why are you being a bitch made motherfucker? You're a homo. Leave me the fuck alone, punk ass motherfucker. And this back in this time, you know, that was acceptable way to talk. You don't really say that about people anymore, their sexuality. But he just was being punk to me. And we did a UFC fight. I ended up getting a black eye because I didn't fall down. They had to pull me out the fight to basically save my eye because it was getting so swollen. They had to save me. I took a lot of hits, man. I was just like, he had to ask me while we fighting, are you done yet? Are you fucking done yet? I'm like, nah, man. Let's go. And I got a black fucking eye right here. But I remember shortly after that, I eventually got expelled or some shit. I don't even know if I stayed long enough for them to. I think I left before they were even able to expel me. I never saw my principal. Never saw him. Mr. Randazzo, I don't think he really knew me that much. I was like such an enigma at that time. It was either middle school, but from middle school to high school, I went to different cities. So middle school, no, that's wrong. Middle school to middle school, I changed cities. So I went from one middle school and I moved to another middle school. I was always moving. That was my, oh, Lonnie moving again? That's what he does. Whatever. I moved so many times. And eventually what's funny is I came back to the place where I once started. Alexandria, Annandale area. That line. E Road. E Road right outside DC is where I grew up. So that's my childhood in a nutshell. It seemed long. Seems like a million years ago, but it's really 20 years ain't that long. You know, 15 years is not that long. It's actually pretty fast. The fastest time in my life was when I was 18 to now, the last 10 years, or 12 years. That has been the fastest time in my life, probably because that's when I started getting heavy into drinking and weed. When you become old enough to smoke, you start out with weed. You do so much weed, you gotta numb your fucking brain. But when you have a bad life, you just gotta numb your fucking head, man. And I chose weed, and I started getting into Four Locos, and 40 ounces were like the Bible to a young kid like us. No teen, 40 ounce? Bruh, shit. We were about to show the old cats. See, that was the thing about teenagers 10 years ago as opposed to teenagers 40, 50 years ago. We were trying to outdo the OGs in the game, the fucking older cats. We were trying to outdo their fucking habits and see if we could hang. Yeah, I suppose they did that in the 80s and shit like that, but we took it to a whole new level. This was right before video games really were popping. The online shit. Well, the video games were popping like 2003 with Eminem. Eminem came out at a very unfortunate time. He could have been way bigger than he is now. if he had come out um, right before Tupac, if he come out before Tupac, he'd be really big. I believe it. Way bigger than now. You think now is big? He's about done with his career now. He's like a legend now. Trust me. He's when every song is no longer happy. You don't have that. You don't have that inspiration no more. And who cares? Who cares if he's not happy no more? If he no longer wants to record fucking music? Who cares? Who cares about that part? It's about the person. We love Tupac not just for his music. Oh yeah, he make great music. Like Suge said, if Tupac was just about music, I wouldn't have signed him. That's why I like Suge Knight, because Suge tells it like it is, man. People think he's a bad dude, and this generation's got Suge Knight's image all fucked up. But he really ain't that bad of a person. For real. Suge Knight was actually very fair to Tupac, man. Very fair. I wasn't there. I studied just as much as y'all. He's been gone for 25 years. We've had nothing to do but study Tupac. Because he didn't want to just be, like I said, a fucking sad clown or a um, clapping monkey on stage. He didn't want to just be that. He wanted to be a general, war-minded, fucking leader of a cause. He wanted that. You know, I don't think he was ready for that. But as he got older, yeah, he would have been at the front of all these social issues for real. Yeah, I think. I don't know. I'm just saying, if Eminem came out before Tupac had passed away, had a few more years to develop his career before video games started really coming out, he would have sold way more and just had way more of a fucking impact than he did. He already had a big ass impact. I think he came out 99, 98. So he had 2 good years to really. He was perfect timing. In fact, he was right before video games started stealing all of our fucking attention away. It's like you can make a sale of an album, but nothing compares to getting people obsessed with your album and buying every album. That's better than just selling one album. And any artist will tell you that. Selling one copy of a work that you did. Any artist will tell you that.